I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
It's official. The man who grew up in Queens and helped change the New York City skyline with his buildings is now the President of the United States.
And I will never, ever let you down.
Hundreds of women's marches across the country and around the globe. All of them designed to send a message to America's new president.
Now, believe it or not, this isn't even the main march. The main march is over on Independence Avenue, but so many people showed up, they were forced to walk to the White House along Pennsylvania Avenue.
President Donald Trump has signed an executive order now to immediately ban immigration from 7 Muslim countries.
No hate, no fear, refugees are welcome here.
Oh my God.
One of Britain's worst terror attacks. The target this time, teenagers who filled that Manchester arena for an Ariana Grande concert.
Thousands of people have left balloons and flowers, teddy bears, and candles.
British police say a man in an SUV plowed through a group of pedestrians on the Westminster Bridge.
Investigators say the terrorists targeted 2 packed sites in central London.
Terror in London again. Who placed a homemade bomb on a packed London train during rush hour?
This was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror.
This horrific attack playing out on the West Side bike path in Lower Manhattan.
A whole bunch of people came running past my way, yelling, "He's got a gun, he's got a gun."
At least 8 people are dead, 15 more injured, and the suspect was shot by police and now is in custody.
For the second time in as many months, New York City, the scene of a terror attack.
I heard something say, bloop. I saw smoke and I got out of there.
That bomb went off inside a subway walkway beneath the Port Authority bus terminal.
Thank God the perpetrator did not achieve his ultimate goals.
President Trump made it official, nominating Judge Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court.
I will do all my powers permit to be a faithful servant of the Constitution and laws of this great country.
The acting attorney general appointed Robert Mueller to investigate possible ties between the Trump presidential campaign and the Russian government.
James Comey today here in Washington was blunt and composed, and he raised that all-important question: did the president obstruct justice?
This is the President of the United States, with me alone, saying, I hope this. I took it as this is what he wants me to do.
Paul Manafort, the president's former campaign chairman, pleading not guilty to wire fraud and money laundering.
Michael Flynn, President Donald Trump's former national security advisor, pleading guilty today to lying to the FBI.
Dozens, if not more than 100 rounds fired as members of Congress played baseball.
Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise, he is in critical condition.
You have no idea how great this feels to be back here at work in the people's house.
At least 58 people are dead, more than 400 hurt when a gunman opened fire in a hotel room inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino.
It has all left the people of Las Vegas turning to each other. Not for answers, there are no answers, but for support.
Today we are getting a little bit of a glimpse into the mind of the man who stormed that church behind me Sunday morning, killing 26 people right in the middle of their church service.
Protesters clash on the streets when a white nationalist group demonstrates against the removal of a Confederate statue.
The gunman opening fire at Bronx Lebanon Hospital. That gunman, a doctor.
I saw the guy with a rifle. I said, please, don't do nothing to me. The guy said, no, I come here to get a doctor.
The barbaric and butcherous gang known as MS-13. They are responsible for at least 17 murders on Long Island in the past year and a half.
Police are not yet saying whether these 4 men were victims of gang violence, but that's what people are fearing.
We got a car running people over, 4-2 and 7. 4-2 and 7.
The person drove up onto the sidewalk, drove over a whole bunch of people. I'm still very upset. I mean, I was almost killed.
The suspect, 26-year-old Richard Rojas, was tackled in the street. Initial tests show that Rojas tested positive for drugs.
If you reduce trains coming into Penn by 20%, it will be a summer of hell.
Amtrak has announced it is wrapping up its major project of repairing all of those aging rails. And get this, it's on time and on budget.
Governor Christie and his family took a trip to one of the state beaches that was shut down to the public over the 4th of July weekend. His picture plastered all over the news.
Another provocation tonight from North Korea. It test launched yet another ballistic missile.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself.
An emergency meeting tomorrow of the UN Security Council after a deadly chemical attack on civilians in Syria.
How many more children have to die?
Today, we finally acknowledge the obvious, that Jerusalem is Israel's capital.
As tense as the situation is here tonight, most Israeli politicians are praising the president's decision.
The earthquake is the second to strike Mexico City in the last 2 weeks.
This was the first time 3 Category 4 hurricanes made landfall in the U.S.
Here in downtown Houston, and this is what things look like after the water recedes a little bit. This is the entrance to I-10. I want to show you this enormous tree that came down when Irma was blowing through that onslaught of wind.
Puerto Rico is slowly recovering from the ravages of Hurricane Maria.
Right now, we don't have nothing in our house.
This used to be Ada's kitchen. We're about 45 minutes outside of San Juan. Maria made landfall just south of here.
Tonight, a sexual harassment scandal involving one of the entertainment industry's biggest names, mogul and producer Harvey Weinstein.
The Harvey Weinstein scandal is behind a hashtag that is picking up steam on Twitter.
Women posting Me Too, I think, gave them the courage to not have to tell their story.
Kevin Spacey is facing serious backlash over an allegation of sexual misconduct.
3 more women coming forward tonight claiming veteran journalist Charlie Rose sexually harassed them.
Matt Lauer out as host of the Today Show after allegations of sexual misconduct.
NYPD is reviewing sexual misconduct allegations against hip-hop mogul Russell Simmons.
Senator Al Franken announced his resignation amid a growing cloud of sexual misconduct allegations.
To the supporters, stay calm.
Jurors said they simply could not reach a verdict in Bill Cosby's sex assault case. The judge declared a mistrial.
I do vote to grant parole when eligible.
Thank you.
New York City voters electing Bill de Blasio to another term in office.
Phil Murphy elected the 56th governor of New Jersey.
Tonight, we declare the days of division are over.
A show of unity among NFL teams and players today in response to criticism from President Trump.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired.
That is absolutely clobber.
A Silver Slugger Award, a Pepsi endorsement, the cover of a video game, and now the American League Rookie of the Year. The verdict is in. It sure is good being Aaron Judge.
Giancarlo Stanton, the National League MVP, the Major League home run champ, now joining the Yanks, and Aaron Judge.
I'm very excited to be here and be a part of the Yankees.
The moment millions have been waiting for, the Great American Eclipse, the first total solar eclipse to cross over the entire continental U.S. in 99 years.
One of the world's most eligible bachelors is off the market.
Whatever we have to tackle together or individually will always be us together as a team.
For Best Picture.
La La Land.
No, there's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
89 years of Oscar history, this has never happened.
The controversial founder of Playboy magazine died in his home of natural causes.
Found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. Go, Johnny, go, go. Johnny, be good. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Black hole sun, won't you come?
Can I help you?
Yes, my name is Bond, James Bond.
Like a rhinestone cowboy. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that are dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory. It keeps you ever gentle on my mind. Holy Shazam! Don't you know I have fallen in love with you? for the rest of my whole life.
How old are you?
30.
No hedging. No, how old do I look?
Why hedge? How old do I look?